Hello students, today I am going to teach you In the Kingdoms of Fools, lesson number 4 from English supplementary book. So open the page number 19. So I am starting the reading. In the Kingdom of Fools, both the king and the minister were idiots. So this is the story of the kingdom in which totally all the people, whether it is king or minister, all are fools, idiots. Idiot means not wise or not intelligent. They didn't want to run things like other kings. So they decided to change night into day and day into night. So they don't want to follow the rules like all the kings or all the kingdoms are following. They want to make their own rules. So they decided to change the day into night and night into day. Means all the work you do at the day, you have to do that at the night, and what you do at the night, you sleep, but you need to sleep at the day. They ordered that everyone should be awake at night till their fields and run their businesses only after dark and go to bed as soon as the sun came up. Till their fields means to cultivate land farming, means you did the land farming at the in the day. So you have to do that only in the dark, and you need to sleep when before, as soon as the sun came up. Anyone who disobeyed would be punished with death. The people did as they were told for fear of death. So people were following all these rules because they were they have the fear that they will punished by death, and that is why they were doing this. The king and the minister were delighted at the success of their project. They got so happy, very happy, delighted that their success, whatever they planned, that is succeeding, and that is why they got delighted. One day a guru and his disciple arrived in the city. It was a beautiful city. It was broad daylight, but there was no one about. So one day what happened, one saint and his disciple came in that city, in that kingdom. So that was very beautiful city they saw, but what they saw after that, there were no one. So they got surprised. Everyone was asleep, not a mouse stirring. See the stirring moving around. Not even mouse were stirring there, moving around there. Even the cattle had been taught to sleep by day. Cattle means cow, buffaloes, goat, all they also asked to sleep at the day. The two strangers were amazed by what they saw around them and wandered around town till evening, when suddenly the whole town woke up and went about its nightly business. And then they were wandering in the evening, and then they saw that whole night had now wake up, and they are doing their business, they are doing their work. The two men were hungry. Now that the shops were open, they went to buy some groceries. So now they were hungry and they went to buy some food or some groceries from grocery shop. To their astonishment, they found that everything cost the same, a single duddu. Whether they bought a measure of rice or a bunch of bananas, it cost a duddu. Duddu means here currency. Your currency, right now our currency is rupee. On that time they were duddu. So they got surprised. They got astonished and they want to buy something. So they went to the grocery shop and they were buying. And at that time they saw all the things they are buying is cost for only one duddu. Whether you are buying one big rice, one big bunch of rice or one banana, it is cost the same. So the Guru and his disciple were delighted. They got very happy that wow, at only one price. So this is a very cheap rate. We are getting all the things. They had never heard of anything like this. They could buy all the good food they wanted for a rupee. So they could buy all the food at only 1 rupee only. So it was very cheap for food. When they had cooked and eaten, the Guru realized that this was a kingdom of fools and it wouldn't be a good idea for them to stay there. So after eating some food, Guru thinking that this is the kingdom of all of the fools. So we cannot, there is no any idea or there is no any reason to stay here. So this is no place for us. Let's go, he said to his disciple. But the disciple didn't want to leave the place. Everything was cheap here. All he wanted was a good cheap food. So he told to his disciple that let's go from here. This is the city full of fools, so we cannot stay here. Let's go from here. But his disciple denied him. He said no, all the things he liked to eat only. So he thought all the food I am getting here at very cheap rate, so why should I leave from here? Why should I leave this? So he denied him. The Guru said, they are all fools. This won't last very long and you can't tell what they will do to you next. So he just advised him, he just said one sentence only to him that this is the full of fools. This city is full of fools. So just don't forget, and this will not last long. So you don't know what will they do with you. But the disciple wouldn't listen to the Guru's wisdom. He wanted to stay. The Guru finally gave up and said, do what you want, I am going, and left. Then the Guru's wisdom, that his wise words, wise thought, he was denying that also. He was not ready to listen, and that is why Guru left that place and said, do whatever you want to do, I am going, I am leaving. The disciple stayed on, ate his fill every day, bananas and ghee and rice and wheat, and grew fat like a street-side sacred bull. Street-side sacred bull means a fat bull. He was only eating and eating and eating because he was getting everything at very cheap rate. So, and he became like a very street-side sacred bull. One bright day, a thief broke into a rich merchant's house. He had made a hole in the wall and snaked in, and as he was carrying out his loot, the wall of the old house collapsed on his head and killed him on the spot. So one bright day, what happened? The thief broke one merchant's house and he went to and he made a hole in that room, and when he was carrying all his loot, what happened? The old house that collapsed on him. Collapsed means it get broke and fell down on him, and on that time, on the spot, that thief dead. He got dead. His brother ran to the king and complained, Your Highness, when my brother was pursuing his ancient trade, see what he is saying. He went to the king and he said that my brother was pursuing his ancient trade. What ancient trade? That doing thieving, robbing. Pursuing means following. When he was following my ancient trade, like we are the robbers by generation, and when he was doing this, a wall fell on him and killed him. This merchant is to blame. He should have built good and strong wall. You must punish the wrongdoer and compensate the family for this injustice. So he want that injustice, that my brother were doing that ancient trade. He was robbing in his house, and when he came from them, then that all the wall all collapsed on him and he killed on that time. So you should punish that merchant in whose house he was robbing, because he didn't made a, you can say, pakka home, or you can say a strong wall, and because of that my brother get killed. You should do something, you should take action on him. The king said, justice will be done, don't worry, and at once summoned the owner of the house. And then he said, he was just saying, yes, okay, you will get justice, wait a minute. And he called the owner of the house. And the merchant arrived. The king questioned him, what's your name? Such and such, your highness. He said his name. Were you at home when the dead man burgled your house? Then he asked him, when he was doing robbery in your house, you were there? Yes, my lord. He broke in and the wall was weak. It fell on him. The accused pleads guilty. Your wall killed this man's brother. You have murdered a man. We have to punish you. Then he said, because of your you didn't make any wall, any, you can say, strong wall. That is why his brother got killed, and you murdered that person. So you should get punished. Who is that? My lord, this wall was built in my father's time. I know the man. Lord, said the helpless merchant, I didn't put up the wall. It's really the fault of the man who built the wall. He didn't build it right. You should punish him. Then he said, but I was not the person who made that wall. So it is not my fault. The fault is who made this wall. So you should punish that person, that man. Who is that, my lord? This wall was built in my father's time. I know the man. He is an old man now. He lives nearby. So he said, my lord, this wall was made by my father's time. So he is very old now and he lives nearby. The king sent out messengers to bring in the bricklayer who had built the wall. They brought him and tied hand and foot. Now king sent messengers to bring that bricklayer. Bricklayer means a person who lays the brick and make the wall. So they brought him, tied his hand and foot and all. Were you there? Did you build this man's wall in his father's time? Yes, my lord, I did. Then the king asked him, did you there, you know your father's time, you make that wall? So he said, yes. What kind of a wall is this that you built? It has followed on a poor man and killed him. You have murdered him. We have to punish you by death. And he said, what a kind of a wall you made? It has fallen on a person and he on a poor man. See, the robber was poor. The king, who is actually fool, idiot, he is thinking that the robber who was very poor and is killed because of this wall. So he said, you have murdered him, so that you should get punishment. By death, you should get death punishment. Before the king could order the execution, the poor bricklayer pleaded. Execution means the process of death done by the people. Please listen to me before you give your orders. It's true, I built this wall and it was no good, but that was because my mind was not on it. Now he is saying, yes, you are right, I made that wall and you should give punishment to me, but just listen to me at once. And he said, because on that time my mind was on not in it, or not ready, or on which is or not very you can say, just wait a minute, it was not very, sorry, I am not getting the word, means he was not very in a ready mind, and that is why this happened. I remember very well a dancing girl who was going up and down that street all day with her anklets jingling, and I couldn't keep my eyes or my mind on the wall I was building. Jingling, see the meaning? To make a light clinking sound. So now he is saying that yes, right, but on that day, I remember one girl was dancing on street and her voice jingling anklets were disturbing me, and that is why I couldn't keep my eyes and mind on the wall. You must get that dancing girl, I know where she lives. Now he is passing this on the dancing girl. You are right, the case deepens. Deepens means making deep, becoming deep. We must look into it. It is not easy to judge such complicated cases. And he is thinking this is the complicating case. Oh, let's get that dancer wherever she is. The dancing girl, now an old woman, came trembling to the court. Trembling means shaking body involuntarily, means she got now old, she became old, and she came to the court by trembling. Did you walk up and down that street many years ago while this poor man was building a wall? Did you see him? Then he asked to that girl, did you dancing on that day on the street up and down, and you see that poor man was building a wall, and did you see him? Yes, my lord, I remember it very well. Then she said, yes, I remember. So you did walk up and down with your anklets jingling. You were young and you distracted him. So he built a bad wall. Then he said, because of your distraction, he made a bad wall. It has fallen on a poor burglar. See, poor burglar. Burglar means thief, poor thief, and killed him. And he is saying that because of you, you were dancing on street, and because of that distraction, that person was not, didn't made a very strong wall, and because of that the poor burglar, poor thief got killed. It fallen on him. You have killed an innocent man. You will have to be punished. Now punishment is passing on this girl. She thought for a minute and said, my lord, wait. I know now why I was walking up and down that street. I have given some gold to the goldsmith. Goldsmith means who make the jewelry. To make some jewelry for me. He was a lazy scoundrel. Scoundrel means a dishonest person. So she said, wait. Now I remember what happened on that day. On that day, I went to the goldsmith and I have given some gold to make a jewelry. And he is a lazy scoundrel. Lazy scoundrel means a dishonest person. He made so many excuses, said he would give it now and he would give it then, and so on all day. He made me walk up and down to his house a dozen times. So what she said, because on that day he promised me that he will give me the jewelry, but on very after that time he gave me. So because of that I was walking up and down on that street. He made me walk up and down to his house a dozen times. Dozen means 12 times. It's lots of time I was going his home to get that. That was when his bricklayer saw me. It's not my fault, my lord. It's the damned goldsmith's fault. Damned means cursed. Poor things. She is absolutely right, thought the king, weighing the evidence. We have got the real culprit at last. Culprit means a wrongdoer, a person who do wrong things. Now he said, yes, right, she is the poor girl. So this is the all of this done because of that culprit, that bad person. Get to goldsmith, wherever he is hiding at once. Now he ordered to his officers that just get that goldsmith. The king's bailiffs searched for the goldsmith who was hiding in a corner of his shop. Bailiffs means a law officer who makes sure that the decision of a court are obeyed. So they went to search him, and what he found him? They found him on his shop. He was hiding himself on his shop. When he heard the accusation against him, he had his own story to tell. Now accusation, a charge or a claim that someone has done something illegal or wrong. Then he had also his own story to tell. My lord, he said, I am a poor goldsmith. It's true, I made this dancer come many times to my door. I gave her excuses because I couldn't finish making her jewelry before I finished the rich merchant's order. Now he is saying that, yes, you are right, that I didn't make that dancer's jewelry because of the merchant, the rich merchant whose order should I do or should done by me on that time. So because of that it was delaying by making that girl's jewelry. They had a wedding coming and they wouldn't wait. You know how impatient rich men are. And he said that because of that rich man, I didn't make the jewelry of that girl. And now he is passing all this on that rich man. Who is this rich merchant who kept you from finishing this poor woman's jewelry, made her walk up and down, which distracted this bricklayer, which made a mess of his wall, which has now fallen on an innocent man and killed him? Can you name him? And he said, who is that rich person, rich merchant, who kept you from not finishing the jewelry of this poor girl, and because of this girl that she were walking on the street, and because of that bricklayer got distracted, and because of that that person's wall get broke or mess, or it follow on the poor boggler, or you can say a poor innocent man. Can you name him? So we will see. I am keeping this suspense for our next video. So we will, in next video I will explain who was that person, and I will complete this story. Thank you.